Namaste. You are joining me for a video where we are going to discuss depression. We are going to discuss in detail what is depression, why a person can get depression, what are the symptoms or how does a person know that he or she is depressed, and what are the possible ways to prevent it or to ease a person with depression. Now this video is made for educational purposes. It is not a treatment, medication or therapy for depression. So it should be taken as an educational video, everything that we are going to discuss with an aim to know more about depression. Now what is depression? Depression is a mood disorder. In very simple words, depression is a mood disorder. What are different types of depression? There are three broad categories that depression is divided in. First one being clinical depression, second one being persistent depressive disorder, and third one being bipolar disorder. The first one could be more acute version of it, clinical disorder, which causes a person to be persistently depressed. The second one being a milder version, but it's a long-term depression. A person can be living with it for a very long time. And third one, bipolar disorder, where a person experiences extremes of two sides. There could be episodes of depressive mood swings and there could be episodes of manic attacks. So a person can feel extremely low, extremely sad for a particular period of time, and the same person will be experiencing extreme joy, manic attacks, elation kind of feeling for a certain period of time. That is bipolar. Now, why people get depressed? What are the causes of depression? Depression can be caused by brain chemistry, imbalances in the chemicals of the brain. It can also be caused by hormonal changes or due to the hormones in the body. It can also be inherited due to family history with conditions like these. And it also can be caused or can be consequences of prior drug abuse. You heard it right. Not everybody associates it with drug abuse, but I have observed and I have studied a lot to understand that sometimes, or in many cases, people with heavy drug abuse in the future develop several kinds of mental or mood disorders. Depression can be one of those. So now we have come to know what is depression and what are the reasons why a person can get it. Now let's discuss, how do you know or how somebody knows when they are depressed? When a person should take steps to do something to change or to acknowledge that I am suffering from depression. There have been several myths about it. People are almost fascinated with the term depression, and some people are scared of it just because of lack of knowledge, lack of clarity. Having that clarity and knowledge will help a lot of people. It is not something to be fascinated about, and it is not something to be scared about. Both have to be balanced for a balanced life. So when a person suffers from it, there are several symptoms that a person will start experiencing to know that there is something wrong with their body. There is something wrong with this chemistry. Those could be persistent depressed mood, or feeling constantly sad, feeling constantly low for no reason at all. Remember, sadness comes because of a reaction of something. It's a reaction to something that has been unpleasant in your life. There is a separate video on sadness that I have covered. You can watch that too, so that you know what is sadness and why depression is completely different from sadness. When you are feeling sad during depression, it is a sadness that is coming automatically. There is no possible reason. There is no trigger. There is nothing that has happened for you to react to it that way. So it's a constant sadness. It's a constant feeling or something that is stuck with you. You can also experience appetite loss. A lot of people experience appetite loss without any reason. There could be an underlying reason. Find out. There could be other reasons as well, other physical or medical reasons. Find out about it. It doesn't have to be every symptom. Every one individual symptom cannot be diagnosed or cannot be, short symptom of depression. So take everything into consideration. Take things in a holistic way, not individual way. Hopelessness, feeling of hopelessness, occurring again and again. Guilt, occurring again and again. Self-doubt, occurring again and again. Disturbances in the sleep or insomnia. You're finding it very difficult to sleep. Disturbed sleep for a considerable amount of time. Or even when you're oversleeping, at times you're oversleeping, but there is a feeling of lethargy. You do not feel fresh. You do not feel normal. You don't feel healthy. Feeling of emptiness. Feeling of helplessness. Feeling of anxiety. Sudden anxiety. There is no reason but you're feeling anxious. You're feeling anxiety. Feeling of fear for no reason. But it just occurs. It just crops up. It just engulfs you. Feeling irritated, agitated. Along with appetite loss, at times people can also suffer from binge eating. There are days when you want to just go on eating for no reason at all. Suicidal thoughts, which could be extreme. And headaches. These are some of the symptoms that a depressed person might be experiencing. Once somebody is depressed, there are certain things that become very apparent. The behavior of the person is quite irritated. Small things agitate the person. There is sort of frustration in the responses to unpleasant things, sudden outburst of emotion. The person's performance at what he or she was good at earlier has reduced drastically. The person is unable to concentrate. The person finds it difficult to remember things at times. There's something happening with the memory as well. It just becomes utterly difficult to remember certain things. That was very easy when this condition was not there. So hindrance in normal life, not feeling normal from within, experiencing several of these things at the same time, not one of these things, they are completely natural. It's a human body. Every single day, this body is going through a lot. Every day we fall sick and every day the body recovers. Every day there is some pain or the other. Every day there is some vibration or the other in the body. Every day there are changes to the body. And it recovers every day it is performing. So small reasons should not be amplified just to think that you're depressed or just to make yourself feel bad. One should not find reasons to feel that they are sick or they are disturbed, but they should be actual substantial reasons or symptoms for you to understand, okay, there is something wrong and I need to do something about it. When your functionality has been affected to an extent that you can notice it and others around you can notice it too, that is when you should be alarmed. That is when it is time to do something. The first thing a person who's suffering from all of these symptoms or majority of these symptoms should do is seek professional help. Do not try to self-cure yourself. Do not try to experiment things on yourself. Do not try to seek advice from unverified or uncertified sources. Seek help from the right source. Seek help from a professional who can actually help you and not damage your condition or damage you in the process. So seek help from a professional if you suffer from most of these symptoms. Now, how a person or how people can prevent depression, or how a person with depression can ease a little bit. It's very important to ease out certain things as well. Times medicines are on, but what are the other things that a person can do to feel better, to do things to do to make yourself feel more normal? Those things can start with basic things, as basic as diet, as basic as your daily routine, as basic as talking or spending time with someone who you actually like. That person turns out to be a therapy for you. That activity turns out to be a therapy for you. So do things that make you happy on a regular basis, on a daily basis. Do a session of time management. Write down all your priorities. You can learn time management from this platform as well. There are abundant information given from Inoma how to manage your time effectively. It has been one of the major topics that we have been covering. So learn how to effectively manage your time and start acting upon it. Things start getting better. And this is best possible way to also prevent such mood disorders. People are suffering from so many mood disorders these days, so many mental issues. There is a chaos that is happening with the human body and mind. And this chaos is a result of a lifestyle that should not have been lived by people. That should not have been encouraged. Quit smoking, substance use, alcohol, anything that makes you artificially feel high, or you think that it's an escape for you. Slowly try to eliminate that. Quit it with the help of a professional if you need. Or determine yourself to do it, whichever way works for you. There is no short way for every single person. One size does not fit all. In clothes, yeah, we know, one size can fit many people. But in these things, what approach works for who is different. One size does not fit all. That is what I believe in life. Nothing is short for one person, for all the people. It could be different for you, for me, for someone else. So find out what works for you. Do little bit time management. When you're considering diet, when was the last time, one entire day, you were mindful of what you were eating? Every single meal was thought out. Before eating or consuming that food, you knew what that was going to do to your body. Did you want it? Did you not want it? Knowing whatever is on that plate, what you have picked up to eat, every morsel of it, how is it going to impact your body? We often come across phrases, you are what you eat. But do we know what are we eating? And how is it I am what I'm eating? I am what I'm eating. It's very easy when we are young to understand what we are eating is actually us. For a baby, it's very easy. Parents feed it milk, parents feed it those light stuff things. And they know my baby is going to grow because of the food that it is eating. But once we have grown up, once we are in our 30s, 20s, we stop realizing that whatever we are eating is actually, our body is the manifestation of that. So how many people are considering what they are eating and it is what the body is all about. Everything wrong that you eat, more toxins that you eat, automatically you will have the toxins consumed by the body, and then the body will try to process it. Everything good that you eat, fresh that you eat, nutritious that you eat, that also will be consumed by the body, and the response will be there. So depending on what you consume is very important, because everything that is consumed is going to come out eventually. Every single time. So when was the last time you paid attention and you ate mindfully? When was the last time you woke up knowing what you are going to do the entire day today. Not forced by someone, not by compulsion, but with your own heart, with all your passion. That this is why I'm waking up today. And I know what I'm going to do today. And I'm very happy that this day is beginning. When was the last time you felt that? If you have that kind of routine and if you have that kind of determination as soon as you wake up in the morning, not being forced by someone to wake up every morning, not by forced by someone to take bath and get ready to get started with work. When was the last time you felt that? When did you have a clear picture and a clear purpose for the entire day? And if you have not been having all of this, if you have not been thinking about your food that you're consuming, if you have not been knowing what exactly you're going to do in the day to day after you wake up, I think it's high time you need some time to introspect and work on yourself. If you're not already depressed, you're walking towards it, or you're walking towards some other problems. Depression is not the only last ultimate stop for everyone, because in today's society, it has been discussed so much. It has been over discussed. I think we are overkilling depression as well. People seem to be, as I said, fascinated about it, obsessed about it. Some people think fancy they have it so that they can get more attention. Some people actually have it and they are finding it very difficult to deal with it. So we live in a very chaotic, kind of crazy environment. How to keep straight and how to keep on knowing what is happening, how to keep a clear vision to the goal that we have set for ourselves, is difficult. There are too many distractions. But doing the basics right, I think, makes everything easy. Doing exercises on a daily basis helps prevent almost all kinds of diseases. Doing yoga, again, when you do yoga, you must do mindfully. You should know what exactly you're doing. Follow or learn from a trained person, a trained professional who can help you better what to do, what not to do. Because doing something to do good and damaging your way along are two different things. So when you're taking up yoga, you're doing it for good. So learn the right ways of doing it and then do it. You definitely need a trainer or definitely need a teacher who can guide you. And there are so many apps and so many resources these days that can help you very easily at a very minimal rate as well. Almost sometimes free. Now coming down to the most important aspect of it, and that is reduce stress. I know when somebody is already suffering from some sort of sadness, some sort of mood issues, and they find it difficult. They are more or less, always agitated, irritated, feeling helpless, hopeless. They also have self-doubt. They don't know what is right, what is wrong, what they are doing. Is it going to help? Is it not going to help? It's the state of hopelessness that they are living through. And when you tell that person to do meditation or do deep breathing or do something that calms them down and do it all by yourself, they get frightened of it. They get frightened of the feeling that they have to spend some time on their own, away from all the clutter, away from all the chaos that they are used to, away from the escape that they are used to. Why do people like others around or chaos around? Because that gives them an escape so that they don't have to think about the deeper issues that they may be struggling from within. But it's very important that you start understanding the value of meditation and start practicing it. You can simply start it with breathing and only paying attention to how you're breathing. Nothing else. Every breath that you're taking, inhaling and exhaling, forget about the rate of it, forget about right, forget about wrong. Do not think about it. Do not judge. Just, even when somebody is around you, even when the TV is on, even when you're doing some work, you might be working on your PC, you might be at your workplace, you might be in your cabin, you might be in your cubicle, you might be sitting in a bus to your work or coming back home, you might be on your scooty. But just knowing that you just inhaled and you're exhaling is very important. That kind of mindfulness to basics of life is important. That keeps you grounded, that keeps you alive, that keeps you straight all the time. So meditation, just start with simple steps of knowing that you're breathing. You can also learn more effective ways and advanced ways of meditation. I don't see anything that is too advanced when it comes to meditation, but people find it too difficult to start with it. People find it too boring. Some people say, I fall asleep when I started. It's good that you fall asleep. Don't do it while you're driving then. But start. Understand why it is important. I think giving it 5 days, a few times a day, just focusing on that breath, taking in and releasing it out, you will realize it helped. You don't know how it helped, but you will realize it helped. And you would like to do it more because it's free. Because you can do it anywhere. Because you can do it without anyone. All by yourself. And because there is no right or wrong way. You're just breathing. In stress reduction, breathing exercises work, and it has been proven, and several researchers are working on it, and they will always come out with the positive response that it works. There is no ways anybody can deny that breathing exercises don't work when it comes to mood disorders, when it comes to entire body's healing. It is an effective way, but sometimes we try to avoid that effective way. Sometimes the smallest idea that can change everything, we just keep on ignoring, keep on pushing away for some reason. It's just the way our mind is made to make things, to amplify things, to over exaggerate things, although when they can be sorted out very easily. When we take in oxygen through our nose, our brain receives enough. When there is enough inflow of oxygen to the brain, it automatically functions well. It does not need to do anything more. It just requires its food, its fuel. And when we are not giving it enough, when we are too busy with other things, when we are too busy worrying, when somebody is agitated or anxious, when somebody has an anxiety attack, there is hardly enough oxygen that is reaching the brain. And the brain is craving for it at that moment because it could help you instantly. So deep breathe whenever you think that you need it, and you will know what it does. Start with somewhere. Don't find reasons to avoid it, because there is no point avoiding it. It's like, the way people, or the way society, the way medical industry is approaching depression and mental disorders is so weird. These conditions have suddenly become so much. It has become so popular. So many people are being diagnosed, so many people are being engulfed by these conditions. And we are thinking, why is it happening? What is wrong? We know what is wrong. All along we were preparing for all these things. All the changes that have happened to the society, especially in the urban areas, we have been preparing for these days. And when it is happening, what we are doing, instead of actually tackling the larger issue, instead of actually focusing on the larger issue, how it can be prevented, we are going case by case, we are going person by person. It's like the entire well of water is contaminated. But when a person is falling sick, we are blaming that person, that you must have done something else. The entire village is fallen sick of that well of water. But they are told they are doing something wrong on their own. Nothing is wrong with the water. Or nobody is even diagnosing the water. Nobody is even looking at the water. That what is the main source of the contamination. It's as simple as when the air is polluted, instead of actually working on improving the air of your city and air of your state, you are working on air filters. Those air filters can do a little for you in that zone, but they can't really eliminate the air of the entire city, can they? You need to start doing something better, to start making changes on a larger scale. But that's not for me, I think, to ask from the society or from the systems. There is a way that the people are made to feel the way they are feeling, the way the quality of food that we are consuming, the quality of water we are consuming, the way we are consuming, the way we are living our lives, the kind of activities that we are involved in all the time. People are too much involved in what somebody else is saying on social media, but not that much involvement in themselves. What am I feeling right now? If only that switch could happen. What others are saying on social media to what am I feeling right now? What do I need right now? What does my body need right now? Just listening to your body constantly could help you. But no. So this was my little discussion on depression. I hope I was able to make it clear what exactly it is, what is happening, why it could be what it is. So many people just getting it, so many people getting diagnosed with it, so many people feeling these negative emotions constantly is not the right thing. It's not the right thing to happen to the society. What are we doing about it? I don't know. The approach that people and approach that the medical industry is also taken to it, I do not entirely agree with it. Just pumping people with medicines does not really help that much, because if your entire house is dirty but you keep on taking bath just to remain clean, it's not really going to help you in the long run, will it? You need to start cleaning the clutter. You need to start cleaning the entire house. Every section of the house is dirty, but you're trying to take bath to remain hygienic. It's not how it is dealt with, is it? It has to start with the basics, but somehow the basics are somewhere covered in the dirt and we are not able to see it. Thus, breathing exercises, thus something that does not make someone else money, but you can help yourself without that person. When you start depending for your own well-being on others, is when you have given control of things to other people, and then they can decide what they want to do with you. So gain back your control and do things that are right for you. Not right for some app, not right for your smartphone, not right for your influencer, not right for your celebrity that you're following, not right for the subjects that you get obsessed with and you're spending time on. What is right for you? Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing all this time with me over here. I hope it was of some help. That's all from me. Goodbye.